Hello, hello, and welcome to this 43rd edition of the second year of these live streams or videos. And today, at the time of streaming this, it's a Tuesday. Of course, it's a Tuesday, but I actually wanted to share the concept of the Tuesday tips and share a couple of things because recently and quite regularly, to be honest with you, I either deliver masterclasses or guest expert talks online. I do in-person speaking, keynote speaking at various different companies, corporates. I deliver training. I do all sorts of things. I network. I attend events and things myself. And although I haven't done it for quite a few months now, I host in-person events too. So I am always interested in you and always interested in the things you want to know about. So for this reason, many years ago, when I set up the Visibility Vibes Tribe Facebook group, I introduced within there a concept called Tuesday Tip. And behind it was merely a reason for people to share their stuff. Sometimes people would come in slightly nervous and just share a tip. I don't know, put a coaster under your candle so wax doesn't go everywhere, which is all well and good. But what I also started to realize that when we share generic tips like that, a bit like how we brand ourselves, how we market ourselves, how we put ourselves out in the world and have ourselves be visible, if we keep talking about random things that has nothing to do with our work, people don't really ever understand what we do. So I used to gently encourage people to share a tip about the thing that they do, the thing that they're known for, the thing that they're growing, the business that they want, or the businesses that they are putting out there in the world. And it was just a reminder, really, a way of reminding people, if nothing else, it's Tuesday, share something. So this is really what this video is about for you. So even if you're watching it on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, think to yourself, one of two things. Either what can I share on Tuesday consistently every Tuesday as a tip for my audience and the people who are looking at what I do? Or the other thing is you can go, okay, it's Saturday, I'm just watching this video and I'm going to share a tip. And this is not exclusively for business owners either. For those of you that work in corporate settings and companies, whether you work in HR, marketing, whether you work in sales, whether you work on the customer service team, whether you're a senior leader or part of the executive team, there are always insights and pieces of knowledge that people want to know from you. So, who am I and why am I talking about this? I'm Jenny Kovacs, the visibility queen, known as the Queen of Being Seen. I am currently streaming this live and it will go into an archive where you can watch it back simultaneously on my LinkedIn profile, on YouTube, which is easy to find at Jenny Kovacs, and on my Facebook business page, which is also quite easy to find. I'm Jenny Kovacs, the Queen of Being Seen. But if you type in at Visibility Vibe without the S, you'll find my page there. Wherever you find me, wherever you're watching this, hit the subscribe button, please. And if you're watching this anywhere other than YouTube, I would invite you to go over to my YouTube channel, type in at Jenny Kovacs and hit the subscribe button. I would like to have a few more subscribers over on YouTube. And for those of you who are subscribed, you'll see that in amongst these daily videos, there are other pieces that are coming up that aren't available publicly for you to see. So if you feel like you're missing out, just type, am I missing out, as a comment under here, and I'll send you a link or two for some other really juicy stuff. So I am in the field of visibility, as in how you can raise your professional profile, how you can get your work known out there, how you can climb the career ladder, how you can have more people know about the work you do. Because the angle that I come at with when it comes to being visible is not just about being the loudest in the room. In fact, it's about how you feel inside. It's the confidence, it's the credibility, it's the certainty that has you put yourself out there in the world and actually has people almost kind of like magnetically hear you. You're remembered, you're really memorable, you make an impact, and you often change people's lives too in some way. whether it's that of a company, whether it's that of an individual, this is what you do. So you help people see themselves in a different way. I'm passionate about this, and I've been working with this now for 14 years, soon to tick over to the 15-year mark. And the reason that I'm passionate about it is I've seen this work for all sorts of people, from teachers who are employed, makeup artists, self-employed and otherwise, people who have consultancy type businesses. So they go out and consult, trainers, people who run retreats and events and VIP experiences, people who are quite known in their field and brands who are quite known in their field, as well as organizations, as well as institutions, as well as membership, professional membership bodies, you name it. I have been really blessed to work with all of these different types of people over the years. And what I love about this is the Visibility Vibes actually provides a framework where you can step into. Now, the reason I'm so passionate about this is I know firsthand what it's like to have your voice shut down or to be ignored professionally. But I also had a really, I've had a number of great experiences now, but particularly had a really great experience with a particular employer before I started doing this work, where I came in and I offered my value. I shared what I was good at. I saw the company's vision, and within that company was actually rapidly promoted. I was promoted 3 times, quadrupled my salary. Now, why do I tell you that? I tell you that because this isn't just fluff and stuff that I've pulled out of the air. And since those days and since those times where I've now do this as my own business, I've also been able to help other people too. So I wanted to just quickly share with you some of the frequently asked questions. So these are the most common questions that I've been asked. And just to kind of give you some context, I'm just going back 3 months. So where I've spoken at particular companies, where I've done keynote talks, where I've done guest experts online, where I've been a podcast guest, and where I've had clients who have spoken to me privately, and we've been looking at how they can raise their profile too. So in no particular order, I'll start with the questions. So one of the most frequently asked questions that I get asked when I'm online it's about this bookshelf. Jenny, is your background real? Is normally how the question starts. Or, oh, I like your bookshelf. And they still assume that it's a background. So for the purposes of this live stream, this is a real bookshelf. Look, I'll prove it to you. Quite tightly packed, as you can see, but they're real. And let me show you the first books. Okay, so the first one was one that one of my best friends actually bought for me, All on Board. You know, if you're in the London Underground and you see those really nice kind of messages and signs, I'm always taking photos of them. And because I posted so many of them online, my friend bought me this book. It's All on Board, Inspirational Quotes from Transport for London Underground Duo. So that's one book. Next book is this one, which is new out. It's Saving Our World, Plan B. And it is The Citizen's Mandate for Change in You. And this is about, this is written by a man called John Seymour, who has been an amazing change agent over the decades. But it was written because of this feeling that many people had of hopelessness, of not being able to make a change in their lives. So what he's done is, if you go to citizensmandate.com, the website, there are 3 questions that you will be asked about what you'd like to see for change in the world. You can complete it and leave that there, or you can complete it and then send a copy to your local MP. Therefore, the changes that matter to you actually start to be looked at and changed in the world. How cool is that? And then the third book, How to Break Up with Your Phone. It's a 30-day plan to take your life back. This is an amazing book and worth the read for any of you, especially if you're parents or worried about someone's consumption of the phone. It explains a lot of the psychology around it. I believe this has been used in the NHS too. It's a really insightful book, and I've got lots of bookmarks in there too. So that bookshelf is real. The other thing somebody asked me quite recently, and also a few weeks back when I delivered a talk live in person in a room, was, so what's a typical day for a visibility specialist? And the answer is, not every day is the same. Of course, there are things that repeat, but typically I am doing things that many other business owners and founders do. I am answering requests about coming to speak, which I always love, because I love hearing about what a particular organization needs, whether they're looking at a lunch and learn or whether they're looking at me speaking at their, staff end of year kickoff meeting or conference. And also I love the talks for the associations too, because that gets really meaty to be able to bespoke something for them. So a lot of my time is spent doing that. I already have my bio, and that information ready, so I can normally send it quite quickly. And then other things that I'm doing one of these every day. Again, this is now the second year that I've decided to do this, with a kind of 2 or 3 month break in between. Other things that I'm doing is I'm helping the clients, answering client calls. I'm putting together trainings. And at the moment, I'm putting together a couple of trainings, one that's going to be really great for the corporate space, and one that's going to be really great for the entrepreneurial space, all connected to being visible, but also connected to transformation. So typically that's what I'm doing. It's interesting. I very rarely take phone calls these days, but I do make a lot of phone calls and send a lot of audios, because I like to connect with people too. And if you're connected to me on LinkedIn, it's likely that at some point you've had an audio message from me or two. Somebody asked this recently, and I get asked this a lot in various different ways, and they say, when it comes to being visible, I feel stuck right now. This always breaks my heart, because the feeling of being stuck isn't a great feeling. However, the good news is, when it comes to being visible, there's a few things you can do to have yourself be unstuck. And remember that if you are looking to raise your professional profile within your industry, whether it's corporately or entrepreneurially, these will work for you. So the first tip or piece of advice I would give you if you're feeling stuck right now is to take a moment to have a breather, take a break, regroup, regather your thoughts. Often people feel stuck because they are overwhelmed with so many different things to do, until it gets to a point where they're like, there's so much to do. I don't know what to do first. I don't know what to do next. And they create actually more anxiety for themselves. So the first thing is, give yourself a breather and a break. Second thing to do, once you've given yourself a breather or a break, it's like a reset. You'll know, because the creativity will start to come, the excitement will start to come of the possible things that you could do. It doesn't mean to do all of them, but when you've got that creativity, rather than writing them all down, trying to do them all, think more about one person that you could serve. And I'm going to talk about the one person rule in a minute. What is it that you love doing? What is it that they need from you? What is it that you're great at doing? If you feel the need to train more in it to be ready, to, or study more in it to be ready, or to research it or learn, or to research so you can put it onto a PowerPoint and a presentation, then there's probably a quicker and easier step for you. So let this be easy. If it feels difficult, no wonder you're going to feel stuck. And the third point of this is then having that one person in mind, because another thing around visibility that I see in a lot of my clients and a lot of people that come to me is that they are thinking of the masses. They're looking for their posts or their videos to go viral. They're looking for lots of likes, comments and shares. But for many people, true making a difference visibility doesn't actually work like that. Yes, you might get a lot of attention on the likes, the shares and going viral, but the people that you actually get to help where you make a difference, and many people will testify to this, they very rarely like what you share. They very rarely comment. They just turn up either on your scheduler, in your inbox, make an appointment to speak to you. You have a conversation, it's a good fit, and then they start to work with you. So many people forget this. If I ask you to look back at your last 3 clients, for example, and look at how they came to you. Yes, they might have interacted with you on social media, but a lot of the time they read what you say, they appear from nowhere and literally appear in your inbox or as a DM if you're doing stuff online. In my experience too, because I do a lot of offline networking too, I have had instances where I've sat next to people at dinners and award ceremonies. We've had a great chat, we've connected, and then that's happened. You know, going to book launches, speaking to people, you know, just standing by the bar waiting for a drink and speaking to somebody. And then that led to a piece of work, a really nice piece of work too. Other people have been where I've networked and they haven't maybe needed my services, but they have then very quickly seen somebody and recommended my work to them. So don't forget the offline experiences and those experiences too. And if you're stuck and you want more of those offline in-person experiences, take a moment just to map out, well, where will these people be that resonates with me? Okay. So then finally, the one person rule. This is like gold, and it sounds so simple and so easy that people often forget to do this. So I hope you feel that when I'm speaking to you on video, that I'm speaking to you. Now, there's a reason for it, and it didn't come naturally to me at first. First time I got in front of a video, having had a very professional background, been a senior leader, been taught how to be professional, I came to the camera very stoic with my suit on, my shirt with my cufflinks. I even had a very dodgy video voice that it didn't even sound like me speaking normally. I had to use big convoluted words. I had to make sure that I sounded intelligent, and it actually didn't connect with people. But the worst of it all was I would say, hey, everyone, hello to all of you, because I felt like I needed to want or prove that there were a gazillion trillion people watching. But to be sitting on the other side of that camera, and I'm writing about this at the moment, to be sitting on the other side of that camera and not to be addressed as you, the person who's taken the time to watch this video, to comment, to like, or to share, it's like, if you don't connect to the person, the one person that your work really benefits and helps, it makes it really hard for people to interact. Hey, Marvin. Yes, Jenny, the authentic you is what everyone wants to see and responds to the most, 100%. So this is the thing. A lot of people think that when they are speaking on camera, and Marvin knows this really well, check her out. You know, they think that they have to do the hey everybody and speak to many people. And even though this is a vehicle that has you communicate from your one person to very many people out there, actually there's one person listening to you. Now, that person might be a peer, that person might need your services, that person might be like a foot soldier of somebody who then goes and tells somebody else about you. But it's one person that you are listening to. And I'm just going to pop you quickly up on the screen, Marvin, so that people can see your name and know how to connect with you. At the moment, Marvin is watching from LinkedIn, so do go over and connect with her. So the thing is, when we speak to one person, they feel heard, they feel seen, and they feel listened to. And the connection that they're likely to build is more authentic and better for them and for you. So when you connect with people, it's a win-win situation. Now, if somebody's watching this and going, oh my gosh, look at her with that stupid bookcase, and, you know, you'd think that she would take her glasses off and you think that she would have a blue velvet curtain behind me, that's okay. They need to go off and be able to find that person that ticks their boxes and reaches that criteria. So be you, speak to the person that you are destined to speak to. You'll enhance your connections, you'll enhance your visibility, and you will display the authenticity that you have on steroids too. So if we're not connected on LinkedIn, what are you waiting for? Go over and connect with me there. I share periodically. I've been spinning a lot of plates recently, spinning a lot of good plates, but I like to interact with people publicly there. I don't tend to do the, hey, how are you doing private message piece, just because there are too many people for me to do that. I want you to have a proper connective experience. And if you're on YouTube, go over at Jenny Kovacs, please subscribe. I'm looking at growing my numbers there. Whilst I write these books, whilst I work on these projects, and whilst I continue to stay connected with you. So, parting point, if there was a Tuesday tip that you could share right now, what would it be? Feel free to share it in the comments below here, but also go over to your platforms, wherever you are, online or offline, and commit to sharing it with those who need to hear from you. That's it. Thank you for watching. Day 43. Tomorrow's day 44. It'll be interesting because I'll be out for lunch, but maybe I'll be able to introduce you to some other friends too. That's it. Bye for now.